think you should.
I don't condone cheating or even attempting to cheat or abuse the matchmaking system. However, in today's video, I would like to talk about it because there's a few people doing it intentionally and many others that don't even realize they're doing it, and you know, it might need some changing. For those of you who don't know, the way Overwatch tries to balance and maintain your MMR at a proper level, it not only takes into account wins or losses in your games, but how well you individually perform on top of that. Here's the thing though, Blizzard doesn't do a good job of telling how well you individually perform. The game tries to identify who the weak links were on a team and who are the people truly doing well, and it rewards the people doing well with more SR gains and less SR losses, and punishes the people that weren't doing as much or were being carried with less SR gains and bigger SR losses. The point of this is obvious. If you do better, you'll get punished less and rewarded more. However, Blizzard doesn't actually do the best job at determining how well you did. It tries to determine how well you did individually by comparing your stats to other people who play the same hero. So if you're playing McCree, for example, it will look at your accuracy, your number of deaths, your number of elims, as well as if you got gold, silver, or bronze elims, and it will compare that to a national average. I shouldn't say national, a server-wide average. And if you're doing better than that by a lot, it will punish you less for losses and give you more SR for wins. But if your statistics were far below the average, then you will gain less SR for wins and you will lose more SR for losses. Now, there's a lot more math that goes into it behind the scenes, but that's just the basic idea of how it works. That's the principle of it that you need to understand. The problem arises when you play a hero that doesn't necessarily rely on statistics or numerical things like Sombra. You should never go into a game as Sombra and say, I'm gonna get gold elims, I'm gonna do the most damage, because that's not what Sombra does. You don't play the game like a Soldier 76. You don't even play it like a Tracer. Your goal as someone like Sombra is to have good timings, important hacks, and important ultimate usage that will be impactful to the game, not just deal a lot of damage or even heal a lot with your health packs. Statistics cannot show how well your hack timings were, or if your ultimates were used randomly versus coordinated or not. The statistics only show the basics. They compare things like damage and accuracy and other things like that. And I can tell you for sure that a hero like Sombra cannot be represented with statistics. You really need to look at the gameplay to see how well they did. A Sombra who got the most damage in the game could have been playing terribly, and a Sombra who didn't even get bronze damage could have been fantastic because the hack timings were useful and the damage she did was impactful. She went for low HP heroes and took them out. They didn't have a lot of HP left, so she didn't deal a lot of damage. My question is, should they change this? There are a lot of games that actually don't even take into account personal skill level within the game when it comes to adjusting your MMR and your visual SR. That means for a win, pretty much everyone on the team receives an extremely similar amount of SR and MMR. The exception is when someone has either rank decayed or been on a very large streak, whether it be wins or losses. Those things mess with that a little bit. But in general, teams gain and lose similar, very similar amounts of SR for wins and losses. The pros to this would be less MMR abuse with heroes that don't rely on statistics, like I said, as well as a more balanced feeling game in that when you win, you gain a certain amount, and when you lose, you'll lose a certain amount. There's no wild cards where it's like, why didn't I gain any SR this game? And why did I lose so much for one loss? That would be reduced. On top of this, you know, statistics, even when they're on a hero that does rely on statistics. For example, Soldier 76, you can definitely look at the stats to really see how they did. But sometimes your team is so bad that you can't do anything, and your stats will look terrible even if you're the best player in the game by far. And in that situation, once again, the statistics system has failed. The cons to this, though, would be pretty strict as well. You know, with the win streak and the loss streaks really toned down a lot, I do believe they still exist, but you need to be on a seriously high win streak to notice them. With them being toned back so much, it's going to be harder to climb, even if you deserve deserve a truly higher rank, which would mean a few things. If you're actually trying to climb, it's a little bit harder, but if you're smurfing, you can spend more time in lower ranks just ruining different people. I know smurfing isn't that big of a problem, but it's something we should consider when talking about this. Another thing we should consider is the speed at which Blizzard wants us to rank up and lose rank. In some games, it takes quite a bit of time and hours and days to get from one rank to the next, and you have to be very good to do it. In Overwatch, it's definitely pretty quick. You can gain a whole 500 SR in a day if you sit down for long enough, and that's a whole rank tier. Should that be able to happen? I'm not sure, because sometimes you may just be having a great day and you may not actually deserve that higher rank. And other days you may be tilted, but it's like your only day off of work for the week. So you're going to want to use that whole day playing, but since you're playing bad, you're going to lose a ton of hard work you've put in. I think in any situation, there's going to be pros, there's going to be cons, there's going to be people happy and people unhappy, and there's always going to be room for abuse. I just think maybe if Blizzard considers changing the system to where wins are just wins and losses are just losses, and it doesn't look at individual skill, the game might be a little bit more fair towards ranks. Or if Blizzard incorporated a better statistics system that really incorporated how well you did on heroes like Sombra. I imagine a statistic like heroes killed while hacked would be kind of useful. You know, if you hack someone and someone finishes off the kill, it may be a little bit more representative of how impactful your hacks were. At the same time though, if you hack someone like Lucio, it isn't as impactful as hacking someone like Tracer, so it could be misleading. And on top of that, when you hack someone like Reinhardt, would the system know that you brought down his shield and created a team wipe for your team? Probably not. Be sure to give me your opinions down below, because I do think the MMR system could be greatly improved, and this may be a big step in doing so. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to check out another video of mine. I have one where it's an extremely advanced tracer guide, great for carrying. And if you're a fan of the channel, be sure to join my Discord at discord.gg/lonehawk, because I have been a lot more active there and I'm going to be there again. So if you want to talk to me, you can talk to me there. I'll see you guys all later. Have a good one. Lone Hawk out.